friends, and welcome to the second session of the Ecohydrology Symposium with the title Ecohydrology Demonstration Site Activities and Developments. We have seen a panel discussing about the evolution of this program in the last 30 years. It has been a very important strategic plan of the UNESCO IHP in the last 30 years. And we thank the presenter and the panelist before that has spoken about what was major achievement in ecohydrology, what are the major integration in the future for this program. I just would like to go back to what Shabazz said before about the Chinese puzzle that we had in trying to understand as normal scientists this concept of ecohydrology. But a miracle has shown up, a miracle, Shabazz. You know why? Because in 2018, with the World Water Development Report on water nature-based solution, everybody understood that water nature-based solution on water was very important, and somebody also said, but ecohydrology has been using this in the last 30 years, so why don't get advantage of that? And this was also a very nice moment in which ecohydrology and the concept were raised up. But also another very important thing, I think, are the demonstration sites which apply the solutions that ecohydrology can provide to solve the problem. So it's no longer a descriptive science, it's a science that has found a way to find out solutions to solve problems that are affecting our ecosystem and so on. So we will have three presentations as keynote speech. At the beginning, one is from El-Fitri, everybody knows, and the second one is Stefano, who I will introduce, and also Pavel, that I will introduce. So El-Fitri, you have the floor. Thank you. 10 minutes, please. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Giuseppe, and good afternoon, everyone. And so I will share with you the keynote for this session on global network of UNESCO ecohydrology demonstration sites. So we have been talking about ecohydrology today, and we have also been implemented ecohydrology through various ecohydrology demonstration sites, which I will explain later. So yeah. Okay, so as we are celebrating the 50 years of anniversary today, this year, 50th anniversary of ISP and 60 years of water sciences, I would like to start my presentation with sort of the evolution of ecohydrology itself. For ecohydrology also, this year we are almost 30 years, which is 29 years of ecohydrology at UNESCO, and 19 years of ecohydrology demonstration sites. Because at UNESCO, we start to bring ecohydrology, or ecohydrology start entering UNESCO through MAP program also at the time, since 1996, with the focus of the ecohydrological process in the small basin at the time. And then in 1996, like 10 years after that, we start to establish the first 10 ecohydrology demonstration site. So that's during the ISP 9 at the time. And then during ISP 7, with the focus of ecohydrology for sustainability, the first call for ecohydrology demonstration site was made at the time through Prof. Sebastian's leadership at the time. So we have around 30 ecohydrology demonstration sites during that year, around 2010 and 2012. And then again, during ISP 8, then which is the change of the chief of section at the time, which is just during Giuseppe time, he sort of revitalized the ecohydrology program and make or add new or refresh the ecohydrology network at the time. So we have, I think, around 20 plus ecohydrology demonstration sites. And then in 2022, during ISP9, which is during my time, we have the theme of the ecohydrology for water security, which is in line with the theme of ISP9 for water secure world. So we launched the call, in fact, every year. Because before this, we made only one call much earlier in 2010, but during 2022 until now, we launch a call every year, annual call for new ecohydrology demonstration site. So every year we have new ecohydrology demonstration site join our network, and this is also in line with the ISP9 because we need to reach out many other nature-based solution practices and implementation at the various catchment level. And also we focus on the implementation of ecohydrology at the UNESCO designated sites, which is UNESCO Marine and Biosphere Reserve, Global Geopark, and also nature-based, and also World Heritage Site. So this is the approach that we do during the current ISP9 phase. And what is the ecohydrology demonstration site? Some of you, in fact, already part of the ecohydrology demonstration sites, but some others participants who are new with this network. So this is, of course, the name is site, so it is site where the ecohydrology approach is implemented through different solutions to solve both social and environmental issues, including water. And it is a concept of enhanced ecosystem potential through the application of ecohydrological strategies. So there are some tools or methodology that we can apply or we can do to implement ecohydrology to achieve sustainability of ecosystem closely related to water to improve IWRM in the specific areas. And it is also implemented to address various issues can be related to pollutant and nutrient concentrations, water purifications, habitat loss, flood, drought, intensive land use, and so on. So that is the basic approach of ecohydrology. And the objective of ecohydrology demonstration sites itself to synthesize knowledge gap for addressing ecohydrological issues related to critical water ecosystem under pressure, and showcase how better knowledge of the interrelationship between the hydrological cycle and livelihood and ecosystem can contribute to the ecosystem, and also to demonstrate system solution and technology transfer opportunities through various solutions. And we use also the approach or how to say the important elements WBSR plus CE plus LPG. I think this element I don't need to explain further because many presentation by various demonstration sites will highlight this element. So I would like to focus on the ecohydrology demonstration site network itself. This is from the video that we launched yesterday during the opening of the main celebration, high-level celebration of the 50th anniversary. So it's shown that we have just nice number there, 63 ecohydrology sites at 36 countries. This is the current number, but by end of the year we will have more number hopefully, because this call is annually. And so this is the existing network. We have 63 ecohydrology. You can see different colors shown different type of ecosystem. We have ecohydrology approach implemented at the river basin, at the lake and wetlands, at the coastal estuaries water, and also at the river. So that this is the different type of ecohydrology. And you can see also different region, different number of region implemented ecohydrology demonstration sites, and also some demonstration sites which also UNESCO designated sites. You can see there also. And now, or recently, we just approved 12 demonstration sites, which I would like to highlight here. So we approved by the end of 2024 12 new ecohydrology demonstration sites, which is 3 in Europe, as you can see there, and 5 in Latin America and the Caribbean, 3 in Asia Pacific, and 1 in Africa, which is Ethiopia. So this is the 12 ecohydrology demonstration sites. We need to develop new maps because now two becoming too crowded, we plan to have more strategically can show the number of ecohydrology demonstration sites, because soon it will be more sites to be part of this network. So this is just distribution of ecohydrology demo site based on the type of ecosystem or catchment areas. As you can see, the number of different type of ecosystem there. And then in terms of methodology or tools that we use for ecohydrology, so we use 4 main technologies or methodologies. First, which is the most tools that been used by various demo sites, which is by using ecohydrological infrastructure. And then the second one, using phytotechnology, by using specific vegetation or plants or wetlands. And then next is on fauna technology. This is also another tools that we can use by using specific bioindicator or specific fauna to use to absorb pollution in the specific water bodies. And then also related to hydrological flow and environmental flow, that also is a nature-based approach. And this is to show you the different methodology applied by different type of different ecohydrology demonstration site. Some demo site use 3 or 4 all 4 tools together, but some demo site can be only applied 1 or 2 tools. So it depends on the demo site. As long as it use the specific tools, which is nature-based approach, and it's shown impact or improvement on the aquatic ecosystem. So that is the main intention. You can see that the main tools that been used is related to ecohydrological infrastructure, 52 out of 63, and then also phytotechnology, and then hydrological flow, and still not many use fauna technology, but at least we have around 24 demo site using fauna technology. And this is to show you the different major issues addressed by using ecohydrological approach in the demo site. You can see there out of 63 demo site, the demo site address the major issues addressed there. The most issues that being addressed by using ecohydrological approach is related to pollution, and the second one on intensive land use, and then related to drought, how to manage drought by using ecohydrology, and other issues as shown in the screen. And this is also another important element to implement ecohydrology, where we need various ecohydrology stakeholders to be there to work together to ensure the implementation of ecohydrology is not only one-off project, but supposedly it should be sustainable and continue. So we need to make sure there is specific demo site manager there is local participation and involvement of the community, and also various national and local stakeholders, university as a researcher that do various research in the university in the demo site, and various partner, and also donors or others potential supporter. So because this ecohydrology demonstration site, we would like to encourage various countries, individual organizations to apply or to join this network. So you can see there, everyone can apply, including UNESCO Water Family, ecohydrology practitioners, and also designated sites. So more information on the call you can find in the website later. It's normally, as I mentioned, it is annual call. It's open from June until 31st August. Okay, and that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Fitri, for this overview on the ecohydrology demonstration site network, which in the last 5 years just doubled the numbers, and in many continents of this world, and it's a great initiative. Now I would like to introduce another initiative of the ecohydrology program. One is the Ecohydrology Lab Network, a new initiative that Dr. Stefano Fazzi will explain to us. He's part of the Scientific Advisory Committee of Ecohydrology. He's also a professor at the University in Rome, and also professor, the Master of Erasmus Mundus Master in Applied Ecohydrology. You have the floor, Stefano. Please, 5 minutes if you can. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we start the presentation? Okay, it will come. I will talk about this Ecohydrology lab network that we are creating within the Ecohydrology program, because as the number of demo sites grew, we felt the need to homogenize and harmonize all the data collection and the scientific approach that we apply in the different demo sites. Okay, so, next one, please. So the idea is to harmonize and intercalibrating methodologies and techniques that we apply in our demo site, because we feel the need to come out with some common methodologies to be applied, not only for the implementation of the activities, but also for the monitoring of the solutions that we apply. So who can apply to the network? To the lab network are laboratories and the research team that are involved in monitoring and developing the demo sites. Next one. So the objective of this network is to provide access to equipment and expertise among the members, create collaborative research opportunities, but also, I would say, collaborate in fundraising and in participating in common shared goals, and then facilitate training and capacity building related to ecohydrology. Next one. Okay, basically the network works in a way that we would like really the scientific community that is behind the implementation of the demo sites to generate data and information required for the application of ecohydrological natural-based solution. And as I was saying, this should be very useful also to monitoring the short and long-term effect on the ecohydrological solutions that we applied. Of course, we can in this way enhance the scientific and technical capability through training, fellowship, and enhancing exchange of personnel, and facilitate transfer of knowledge. Next one. For the time being, we have 17 laboratories that joined the network, and we have different three in America, in Canada, US, and Costa Rica. Then we have in Europe, Poland, Italy, Spain, Germany, and United Kingdom. In Africa, we have Ethiopia, Kenya, Sierra Leone, and then in Asia, Pakistan, India, and China. So this is the first core group of laboratories that decide to share their experience and to start to interact from a real methodological and practical point of view. Next one, please. To give you an example, in our demo site in Italy on the Tiber River Basin, we apply advanced molecular tools to better understand how the ecological processes work and how we can force or somehow drive these processes in constructed wetlands. So we applied very advanced technique that involve metagenomics in order to understand the role of the microbial life as essential element in mediating ecohydrological processes. Next one. In addition, we also work on new advanced materials that can be implemented in floating devices that will certainly enhance the capacity of this device in absorbing, for example, phosphate from water. So this is just an example of experience of technical skills that we implement in our demo site, but we were able to share this experience. Next one, please. with different other demo sites in the network. For example, we have this bilateral exchange with Poland, supported by the Polish Academy of Science, and here we are working together on this new absorbent material. With the demo site in Guadiana, we shared the samples and we assist in the analysis of the microbial diversity in sediments from the Guadiana estuary. And in the Kenya demo site, we worked mainly on understanding the dynamic of the greenhouse gases produced by the microbial community along the water column in the lakes in the Nevasha basin. And these both in for Guadiana and Kenya, these were supported by activity in the framework of the Erasmus Mundus master in applied ecohydrology. There is another important project that we are implementing now in Ethiopia, and we are sharing experience with our colleagues in Ethiopia, a project that is supported by EU and by the Italian Cooperation Agency, and we are working with the colleagues that are in charge of the ecohydrology demo site in Ethiopia, assisting them especially in laboratory facilities development. So this is just an example of how we could share our experience and our for mutual benefit between partners within within the network. So, but the important thing is also that we have to find funding for these collaborations, and so this is why it's also important how we could interact in terms of participating to calls and so on. The other aspect is also to link this network. Next, please. With other network that has been built in the recent period, and thanks to the memorandum of agreement between UNESCO and Water for All that was just mentioned by Benjamin in the previous section, we certainly can link our lab network with the network that Water for All is building on water-oriented living labs that has an important role in demonstration activity of Water for All that, as you know, is a partnership that was launched in 2022. So just to conclude, I would like next one to say that this lab network is aims to offer an opportunity for advancing research on fundamental ecohydrology processes and to foster the development of innovative ecological natural-based solutions. There is a brochure, next one please, where you can get all the information with the code. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Stefano. I would like to recall that this initiative was launched a year ago during the World Water Forum in Bali, so a little bit more than 1 year on the road, and already gained a lot of momentum and a lot of collaboration between laboratories has been carried out. Now, I would like to introduce to you Pavel Yarosievich, who will present the Ecohydrology Youth Network. Pavel is working at the European Regional Center for Ecohydrology in Łódź in Poland, and also part of the UNESCO chair on applied ecology and ecohydrology. And last but not least, he's the president of the Ecohydrology Youth Network, having the great advantage to be young. And that's it. Thank you. You have the floor.
Thank you, Giuseppe. Still young. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, many times during this conference we heard that this is impossible to solve water-related issues, water-related problems without active engagement of youth. And I am very glad to announce that the ecohydrological family of UNESCO has addressed that issue in a very professional way. And here I would like to briefly introduce you to our recent progress of Ecohydrology Youth Network. The network, very dynamic network that has started a year ago, but as you can see, is bringing a lot of happiness to these youth talented people. Who we are? In general, I must admit that this story was greatly facilitated by the Erasmus Mundus Master in Applied Ecohydrology program that recently has been coordinated by Professor Luis Chicharo and partners, where we have selected a group of very talented, very motivated young people from all over the world that has studied ecohydrology. And for that moment, we generated a great momentum. I believe that would be a great waste, big waste, to not go a step forward and create a youth network in that time. So as you can see from that photo, this is only a group of steering committee members of our community. We are organized now very well, including 186 members, still growing, from 51 countries. Our strategy is obviously to give feedback to UNESCO AHP, but also collaborate and receive feedback from the other side. We have also established the advisory committee with 22 members, mostly senior researchers. Thank you, all of you who are presented here on the, in the place. And we are organized into boards and committees. We are covering different regions. And we bring different committees to have a good organization of our work. Our mission, among others, is to share ecohydrology with youth and, of course, inspire. This is why we started with some series of webinars that we initiated in November last year. Then we continued in February. And they were very successful events. Of course, we are sharing these through some platforms where you can still watch these recordings. We have started the communication and networking. It is now being coordinated by our communication committee led by Paul Mahmoud, who is here with us. And our media are also bringing a lot of attention. Now we have more than 600 people following us. I must admit that also a great success is this event, this water conference, because we bring 17 young members of ECHEN here on place. I think this is the most numerous representation. I think in terms of numbers, this is the biggest group, maybe except people from Malaysia that also came in large number. Thank you. And then we have 8 members who are actively contributing to the first Water Youth Dialogue, very important strategic document that is being now elaborated in the other room of this building. And one and only Nicole Rivera, who you recognize on the stage for the first day panel, Halstech panel, where she presented the voice of youth and young ecohydrologists. And as you can see, these faces are really happy to be here. And I mean, this energy is very important for us. Last but not least, for the communication networking, we are also making a big, huge step in our development. Currently, I am looking at Paul. He's clicking the button send, and we are sending the first newsletter of ecohydrology that most of you will receive on your emails. If you want also to be included in that, we will share that later after the meeting with you. Yeah, I mean, congratulations. This is a newsletter, yeah? The next important element is that I would like to make some call to the leaders, to the coordinators of the demonstration sites to bring youth into active engagement and research in this place. And this is what we are doing in Poland. Here, briefly, I would like to mention that our 2 demonstration sites, one of them, the Pilica catchment, where we include a lot of youth researchers. Here you can see last year Damaris and Julian. Damaris is currently the vice-leader for the ECHEN for Latin America. They were working together with us on the river floodplain connection. They were working together with us on advancement of ecohydrological nature-based solutions, so how we can also solve the problem of water quality. They were actively involved into field monitoring, laboratory research, but also they helped us to establish a first ever in Poland real-time monitoring system where we implemented the network of monitoring stations in Pilica catchment to deepen our knowledge on the ecohydrological processes. The second element is what we do in urban catchments, and here is our Łódź demonstration site, but also Radom demonstration site. that we always try to improve our understanding of these urbanized ecosystems and improve the solutions. Here is our latest project from Water for All funding, Springness, where we involve students into some research on new nature-based solutions like green roofs, filtering media, rain gardens. I am glad to mention that one of these elements is patented on our University of Łódź, the biocare technology that we also further developed together with Dr. Fazi. And then last but not least, regarding the future of ecohydrology, as I mentioned, we need to bring youth into our demonstration sites. But I am also glad to announce that our demonstration sites are continuously developing. Here is the project, but also the realization phase of our field research station in Tresta, in Pilica catchment, a giant step in the development of the demo site, or maybe a re-establishment, because this station was operating under leadership of Professor Zaleski back in the days. But now new facility to test different nature-based solutions under the impact of different hydrological conditions. So you are invited from 2026 to join us there, and we will start some nice workshops. Thank you for your attention, but before I finish, I would like to mention that our group is also actively increasing the voice of ecohydrology now. Our friend Ivan from Mexico, he will ask some of you to perform a short videos that we will later post on our media. So please don't be surprised and respectfully say yes to Ivan and make a short recording, maybe today after the session. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Pavel, for this great initiative that has also has been 1 year on the road. Actually, it was started some years ago, by a fellow guy that is here with us today, Jose Gaona, that he will speak later, but in a shy way. So now I think that as a great this initiative under the leadership of El Fitri and also of Pavel, who's doing a lot of work on that. So thank you very much for your three presentations. I would like to invite you to join the audience, and I would like to please have a round of applause for our three presenters. And I'd like to call here on stage Luis, Zeli, Marco, Ula, and Stefan. Please come. We will have presentation now of 5 minutes each. I know it's not a long time, but we need to finish at least on time to go to the reception offered by the Republic of South Korea. The other thing is that unfortunately the time is limited, but this presentation will be around demonstration sites, initiatives, activities and development using ecohydrology. So I will start with Professor Luis Cicero, who you might know is the chairholder of the UNESCO chair in ecohydrology at the University of Algarve. Is the vice president of the Scientific Advisory Committee for Ecohydrology, and is also my boss at the moment. So I would like to invite you, Luis, to give us your presentation. Thank you. 5 minutes.
So, good afternoon, everybody. Let's have a very short presentation about the demonstration site Godian in Portugal. Some of you already were there. Okay. So, when we established the demo site, the idea is to link society with science. In terms of ecohydrology, what we do is that we have the pressures or the impacts. So we have the stakeholder society observation, so this is driven force. Then we have, based on these impacts, we develop solutions. These are scientific ecohydrology solutions. So we can test the problem, develop the solutions, implement solutions in practice with these demonstration sites, and in the end, we return to the society and to stakeholders again. So this is a cycle. Top-down and bottom-up approach for the problems. And what we try to do with the demonstration sites is to link education to research and to society awareness and dissemination. In the case that I'm presenting, we have a demonstration site in the south of Portugal. You can see there, it's the corner, it's Portugal. And so we have a very big dam there. And this big dam affects the river and estuary. And this is the cause for the problem that we have there. So we noticed that this increased the hydroelectric production, so it's a benefit, I would say. It also acts as a strategic reserve for water, so many water states stay there. Double the volume of water that was already trapped before that. It helps increase in agriculture, so 24% of increase in agriculture, which is also important, but as a setback, which is the lower the river flow. So it affects river flow, that affects then the estuary component downstairs. So one of the things that we try to do, very, very simple, is to restore the salt marsh vegetation, because it's very, very crucial importance. As you can see here you can see that these components are reduced when they enter into the system. So this bufferability that the vegetation have to absorb this impact is important, to not allow nitrogen and ammonia to enter into the water. And this graph is very simple, but shows that many people already saw, that shows that when we don't have this kind of dual regulation between biology and hydrology, is we have more risk for more water problems. So when we have no salt marsh, no bivalve vegetation, no salt marsh, no bivalves, we have the risk for toxic algal blooms, for instance. So by managing the biota, it's possible to control the water quality. And this another problem that we have there, and we have tried to solve there, is the impact on the river flow, on the estuarine nursery functions. In the lower part, there is a salt marsh vegetation area, and this salt marsh vegetation area acts as a nursery area. So the fish enter there, reproduce there, and they leave the system already as adults. And this is linked with this green area that is here. This is a plume of sediment that is coming from the river. With the decrease of the sediment from the river flow, the plume, instead of being like this, is only like this, which means that the fish that are passing by anchovy that usually enter into the system to reproduce doesn't find this place anymore. So they pass by and they don't notice where they enter. And because of that, all this function is been lost. And we are trying to tackle these two problems. We have a demonstration experimental field station that is, which some of you will work there. This is a salt plant with 4 hectares that we are using, and this is for the research and for the education component. We are here very well represented by the Erasmus Mundus master student. So this is a Erasmus Mundus master student that works in 4 universities in Europe. We start by Ecohydrology in Portugal and in Łódź, and then they moved to engineering in Lubeck, and then they moved to Antwerp for the management approach, and then they have the thesis. And this is they've been very successful. We have many candidates from more than 70 countries applying. Only very few people get this ability to be in the course. And this is some photos of colleagues in Portugal, and this is in Poland. As you can see, it's different weather. And we do this kind of thing about the demonstration sites, in fact. But there was a question if they are or not good in terms of the result, if the result that they produce is not good or not, if it's just an idea or it's really important in terms of practice. So we developed with Delphi 3 an ecosystem services approach, something that published with Giuseppe and everything. And I did just for the Guadiana. And for the, we were based on this CSS framework, and just comparing the services before and after application of the Ecohydrology approach, it shows that in all of them, in all of the 3 representative services, provision, regulating, and culture is an improvement. So in fact, Ecohydrology seems to contribute to increase the ecosystem services at the system, which is of course a benefit. And this is just some photos of the field station, the labs. These are the labs there. People, thank you very much for your kind attention. It was 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Luis, for this presentation on effect of demo sites in a coastal area, and also training, and also ecosystem services provided before and after the implementation of the demo site. Thank you so much. I would like to invite Zeli. Zeli is a professor at the Chongqing Institute of Green Intelligent Technology at the Chinese Academy of Sciences. He has been involved in many research concerning ecohydrology, and is manager of demonstration sites in the Three Gorges, and also has organized incredible training courses at international level in China, and I think he will continue doing that. So thank you very much for your support to the program. You have the floor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Giuseppe. My presentation, the title of my presentation is about the critical hotspot for next phase ecohydrology development based on the demonstration sites. And my demonstration sites is in China, and I found that a large number of demonstration sites are heavily related to dams. And then there are currently over 100,000 dams in China, and over 50% are in the upper of the Yangtze River basin. And as all you know, that the China Three Gorges Dam is currently the largest hydropower plant in the world. So that's the meaning for the demonstration sites. And here are some parameters, and I'm skipping that. So for the transdisciplinary ecohydrology development, a critical question that ecohydrology is not only a science but also practices. So what we are thinking about for the next phase ecohydrology development, there are two critical questions. One is that what are the new knowledge do we have, and what are the added value? And for the practice, a very important question is that to what extent can we regulate human-nature interactions in hydrology aspects? So in 2017, when I was in Wuch participating in the international symposium organized by Professor Zalewski, we know that there are 5 dimensions, and which is very critical, important in the ecohydrology. But if we go into the other aspect for the transdisciplinary, you can see that for the demonstration site, for the dams and reservoirs, that has the power for hydrological regulation, and they can drive the biodiversity and ecosystem health for the ecosystem-based adaptation, and then affect the climate change mitigation strategies and environmental consequences. And then after that, they shed some response to the dams and regulations. So the core of the hydrology, biogeochemistry, and also hydrology, all these disciplines get together. So here are 2 very tiny stories. One story is in the Three Gorges Dam, Three Gorges Reservoir, where the water level goes down and up in the seasonally, so for 300 reservoir drawdown. So you will see that local farmers would like to cultivate it agriculture, and then for corns and for different types of vegetations in the upper part of the reservoir drawdown area. So there is a dilemma that how we persuade the farmers to make a very good practice to reduce the eutrophication potential in the Three Gorges Reservoir. So here are some kind of organized farming practice that has the potential to reduce the nutrient input in the Three Gorges Reservoir in response to the hydrological water level variations. So I'm not going very deep, but limited farming, no fertilizer, selected crops, and vegetation restoration increase the carbon stock. And the other aspect in the upper of the Yangtze River, we increase the knowledge in the more upstream of the Yangtze River. There are 4 other large dams in the world. It's a cascade dams, and you will see that cascade damming already blocked the river and then shed some adverse effects on the local fish, Chinese crops, and some endangered species. So what can we do to restore these kind of species? So here you will gain a lot of stakeholders. For instance, the China Three Gorges Corporation, the River Basin Committee, the local citizens, the NGOs, consulting firms, and institutions. All these kind of stakeholders get together. And after a long-term negotiation, we select like a tributary for a restoration, and including the old dam removal, restoring the spawning ground, sediment and pollution control, releasing and reproduction fish. So it is a wholly systematic way of thinking. So based on these 2 tiny stories, I think that a very important question for us to think is the next phase of ecohydrology, the discipline needs the wisdom of human on water, which means that you have to think about the trade-offs and the synergies in different aspects, like the multiple stakeholders and the multiple ecosystem concerns. And I think that this is the meaning for the demonstration site, because every demonstration site has their uniqueness in the ecohydrology issues, and the solutions is uniqueness as well. So this is the wisdom for the next phase ecohydrology development. So here are some very sharp, not very, but some sharp questions that need to be addressed in our future next phase. For instance, like, can water allocation be optimized for both ecological resilience and human development when climate change intensifies hydrological extremes? And how can engineered hydrological infrastructure like the dams be designed to mimic the ecological functions without sacrificing energy and food security? And also, to what extent can human land use decisions be reserved or restricted to restore the basin scale ecohydrology feedbacks? I think that these are some kind of sharp questions that we need to think further. So experience in the ecohydrology network should have the power to answer these questions. I believe so. So for the last slide is my slides. That this is the video where you can see some of you guys in the Chongqing, and this is the workshop in the 2023. And this year we are still now calling for participants to visit Chongqing for this kind of experience. And we welcome all the EH participants in UNESCO family. And we need in this year, in 2025, we will have an extensive discussion on EH and the megacities like Paris, like Chongqing, like Beijing. And also there will be some training on the field sampling and modeling and lab skills, which is affiliated to the lab networks. And also solutions for other damming sites around the world. So that's my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Zé, for this presentation that not only explain the scientific side of the monitoring that you are conducting and carrying on in the Three Gorges reservoirs, but also the concept of transdisciplinary. The panel before discusses the difference between interdisciplinarity that ecohydrology went through along the years, so interdisciplinarity, interaction between different disciplines, ecology, hydrology, for example, and others. And you have shown transdisciplinary that goes beyond the science and also get a grab on social and political environment, so all kind of stakeholders. Thank you very much. I would like now to introduce Marco Albarracin from Ecuador. Marco has been one of the former students of the Master in Applied Ecohydrology quite some time ago, still young, but he has already some experience, and has been coordinating ecohydrology in Latin America and the Caribbean, and also promoted a lot of different demonstration sites in Ecuador, in particular areas, because they are in biosphere reserves, in natural heritage sites, so combining designated site of UNESCO with ecohydrology, which is what the program aims to do right now. You have the floor, Marco. Thank you.
Thank you very much, doctors. I'm very honored to be here. Good morning, everybody. My name is Marco Albarracin, and I coordinate the ecohydrology demonstration sites in Latin America and the Caribbean. So in Latin America, we have at least 17 at this moment demonstration sites. Because of time, I'm going to focus just on 4 of them, 2 in Ecuador and 2 in Peru, because we are expecting to do something in culture. So in that sites, in these 4 sites, we do water sowing and harvesting that we think is really alienated with ecohydrology, because there are traditional practices that collect a different sowing and then rain or runoff later to recover it, like in springs, for example. I'm going to show some slides about the demo sites. Here is the demo site in Ecuador, the Catacocha one. It's a seasonal pond that used by ancestral people in Ecuador that was recovered in 2000. Here we have another demo site in Peru. It's the highland peatlands or bofedales that act like natural sponges. They store water, regulate flow, and sustain biodiversity. Local communities take care of them as part of their cultural landscapes. These other slides show how important is the bofedales for biodiversity. Here you can see an alpaca that is, of course, culturally important in Peru. Here's another, Amuna, is a kind of canal that are pre-Inca canals used to divert water into the ground. They recharge springs and aquifers, an ancient practice still in use today in Peru. This demonstration site in Peru contributes to water supply of Lima, the capital of Peru. A new demonstration site is this Albarrada, that is in the coast of Ecuador. They built this dam to capture runoff, recharge groundwater, and also to reduce saltwater intrusion. It is a successful example of collaboration between community and local university, named the SPOL. This is in Europe, in Spain. The name is the Acequias de Careo in Sierra Nevada. It's almost the same concept as the Amunas in Peru. So they take melt water from the snow and they divert it to recharge aquifers. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about Catacocha demo site, that is what I am coordinating. So I use AI to represent what happened here. At firstly, you can see the Paltas people in harmony with nature. But when colonies arrived to Latin America, they changed it completely, the landscape, using for agriculture, livestock, etc. But then, because reduce the infiltration in the aquifer, they started to recover that cocha, that pond. These are tapes or tajamares, small earthen dikes designed to slow down runoff and allow water to infiltrate. They are simple, they are effective and scalable. This concept model illustrates how it's working water sowing and harvesting with ecohydrology. So if we use water, then we can also receive benefits to biodiversity, increase ecosystem services, the resilience for people in times of global warming, and the culture. And now, finally, I want to show you an initiative that we are starting there, because maybe you can see in a lot of presentations the snake. I remember in Professor Watson also the snake, and in other places. In Latin America, the snake was a kind of deity, like God, that taking care of water and the relation with men. You can see here in the pyramid of Chichen Itza, is named the Kukulkan Temple. And you can see the shadow, there is descending the snake that take the water from the universe. The same concept was in the Incas land. You can see here in the middle, I don't know how to show it. Here, there is the Amaru. The same concept in different places, in two different countries at different moments before the colonies arrived to Latin America. And also here, maybe it's not possible to see really, there is another snake named Consa that was the cultural thing that was the reason how to recover the cochas or the ponds in Catacocha. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Marco. And I'm sorry you didn't have time enough to explain that the indigenous knowledge has been largely used in these demonstration sites to reconnect with the ancient hydrotechnologies and to use them in a way that they are regenerating habitats and water to supply cities now. Thank you very much. Oh, sorry. I would like to invite now Dr. Ula Amruni here on my right. And Ula is a senior researcher at the National Institute of Marine Science and Technology in Carthage, in Tunisia. And she's also coordinator and manager of one of the demonstration sites of the network. You have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. First, I would like to congratulate EHP program for this anniversary. We almost have the same age. Thank you for El Fitri for your kind invitation, and thank you to all the Ecohydrological program family for their support since I've been with you. So I will present our demo site located in North Africa. It's the only one. What's a responsibility? Yeah. So why we are here? Why we need ecohydrology? Because it's no good in the world, right? The world is in fire. We have a heat waves. Now in Tunisia, we are 40 degrees, and it's only the first step of these successive and intense heat waves. Also, our seas are in evolution with a high temperature, and you can see the red colors are the anomaly of the temperature, and it is over the world, not only in the Mediterranean. So, what is the consequence on all this crisis? Is a natural disaster, successive and very intense, that cause great damage, loss, ecosystem destruction. And as you can see, as I work in the coastal ecohydrology demo site, you can see the damage as the coastal erosion and the coastal disappearance of beach. And also you have a lot of human loss, like in Derna, Libya. And all this sea level rise and climate change effect will induce catastrophic floodings. Unfortunately, we live this every time. And you remember the Spain deadly flooding that killed more than 200 people. And in this region, the Valencia is just a lagoon, coastal lagoon, that was highly urbanized by people. So you can see the difference before and after the floods. So last week, also in Mediterranean, in Egypt, Alexandria, a coastal city, submit this consequence with a combined crazy climate disaster, floods, and hailstorms. Now we have, a melange of a lot of hybrid catastrophic events. So, is there any solution? The good news is yes. And the solution is in such demosite, in such ecohydrology discipline. How? We need to observe, to understand, so to act. And that's what we do in Tunisia. We are inspired for all the international ecohydrological sites for the past experience to understand this interaction. And you can see we are located in the central Mediterranean Sea, North Africa, in the upper watershed of the Majorda River. It's the Kay River in Tunisia, and it's born in Algeria and live in the Gulf of Tunis. And you can see from the airplane, I took this video, it's the lagoon, and it's a special lagoon. Why? Because we work with people, local people. We are not a scientist. We are not only a scientist. Our observatory includes, of course, a huge Kay areas from the Majorda River to the coastal lagoon and coastal areas, and we address the coastal degradation by our interdisciplinary scientific team, and it is a demo site for all semi-arid regions. which are affected by acidification and high urban growth. And though this part of our demo site suffers from shoreline retreat, as I said, water quality decline, biodiversity degradation, plastic pollution, etc. What we do? Our principle, as said in Fitri, we combine several nature-based solutions. You can see, I coordinate a big family of scientists, stakeholders, governors, professional actors, and you can see what we do. For example, we do the monitoring of the coastal lagoon by the assessment of the water quality, the assessment of the pH, salinity, temperature. We also do the coastal aquifer assessment in the nearshore aquifers. We do the Posidonia assessment with my colleagues in my institute. And we do also the sediment dynamic assessment by the satellite data and, of course, the LIDAR data and all high technology data and tools. And also we have phytoplankton teams. And yes, I'm very happy and honored to coordinate such big teams. So we also organize several training. An example, our first eco-hydrological training which held last year's on ecology and biodiversity of this lagoon, which held by my colleagues, and another training in hydrological and grey water assessment by the nature-based solution by our help. I have money. 2 minutes. By my French colleagues. And last month, we celebrate the anniversary of EHP in Tunisia by the organization of the second international workshop on ecohydrology and the second training on plastic buster. And briefly, our observatory homily is based on natural-based solution, which is the principle of the program, and we focus on a global strategy and based on the ecosystem and the participative citizen, and yes, through the combination of all this data-driven forecasting and on-site measure, our observatory team seeks to establish a sustainable restored wetland for coastal management, addressing pressing needs of the Mediterranean region, vulnerable ecosystem and community. And this is Riyad, our fisherman. He's one of the key actors of our teams. He's now, in this moment, monitoring this coastal for June managed by the windbreakers since 3 years. So thank you so much to give me this opportunity to work in more North African and African coastal hydrology demo site. Happy birthday, EHP. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ula, for this presentation witnessing the activities that have been carried out in the first and only demonstration sites in the Arab region, and also for the support in training activities that you are providing to the Ecohydrology program. Thank you very much. I would like now to invite Stefan Krause. Stefan Krause is professor of Ecohydrology and Biogeochemistry at the University of Birmingham Schools of Geography. He is also part of a UniTwin UNESCO chair. UniTwin means that there are 3 minimum chairs together on the eco-hydrology interfaces, in particular with relation between groundwater and surface water. Thank you, Stefan. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, and thanks a lot to the organizers of this wonderful session. We learned a lot already about our demonstration sites, and hope to tell you a little bit about our new one and elaborate more. So I'd like to take you on a journey talking about the Urban Water Observatory that we established in Birmingham to learn together about how we can integrate in situ center network information and participatory science approaches, including citizen science and complex water challenges. I think we are all together recognizing it was great to see the role of humans and human intervention in the description of previous demo sites as well. We're all recognizing together that global water challenges in the Anthropocene are not only meaning that we are challenged with often having too much water or too little or in the wrong places or too polluted water, but also too unfair distribution of water, really with changing or resulting in changing of water demands and rising inequality and access to safe and clean water. That makes it even more astonishing when we started to think about human interactions and the water cycle and the role humans have when we interact, in particular trying to establish ecological solutions, that when we start learning about the water cycle. My daughter just started in primary school, being for the first time with 11 years old, being confronted with a diagram of the water cycle. One thing that's the first confrontation that we often have when we learn about the water cycle, to look into a picture, it looks a little bit like on the left-hand side here, a very classical depiction of the water cycle. We had a couple of years ago running a study where we investigated several hundred water cycle diagrams, which were published by a lot of different publishers in textbooks and in scientific publications on websites in more than 70 languages, and one that more than 90% of them really had in common where there were no humans involved. There was no human interaction there. So how can we try to understand how humans can be at the heart of ecological solutions if we don't include that in our understanding, our conceptualizations of the water cycle? So we proposed a new one. We're very happy that it gets more and more adopted now. I think we need a paradigm shift to tackle global water challenges, putting humans really at the center of the solutions that we are proposing. And we're trying to do that together with partners at the University of Lyon, University of Western Australia, and the Indian Institute of Technology in Roorkee that, as Giuseppe mentioned, we work with together on our ecological interfaces network, to really also try to establish interfaces between society and nature there that allows us to tackle big global challenges like we have been experiencing, for instance, with not safe access to water for sanitation during the start of the pandemic, or using water to leverage peace, basically in times where we are having more and more conflict on the planet. We are better to do that than directly on our doorstep. Being in Birmingham, we are in an environment that has been riddled by industrial pollution for now centuries. Rivers across the region have been failing ecological standards. If you look into the map on the left-hand side, everything that looks black there, this is a lot of the headwater catchments we have in our urban observatory. They are failing ecological standards. They are sometimes a desert in a riverbed. There's not much life in them, but more importantly, there's a lot done trying to improve that situation, from working with local groups, the councils, and so on. So we're trying to establish better understanding, in particular, of what drives hotspots, but also hot moments of pollution that we're experiencing across this really heavily polluted waterscapes, polluted by both legacy pollutants that have been there for a long time, as well as emerging contaminants. We are trying to do that by basically moving what we have been doing traditionally for decades, if not centuries, in the lab, putting it on a chip, putting it on sensors, and moving it out into the field, which allows us to monitor at many more locations than traditionally, but also at very different frequencies, which allows us to tackle capture the high frequency dynamics of in particular event-based pollution. It allows us to do that not only for individual contaminants, as we have done that previously, but for many different contaminants together. Some of them being indicators of combined sewer overflows, which are a big issue in the catchments that we are working with, others for road runoff, and so on. There's a lot of investment in green urban infrastructure, and one of the aims in this observatory is to quantify how useful are they, and are they in some cases in fact sources for pollution as well. There's a lot of data generated with these observations, and it's really important to us that we're not just generating more data, but data of more value. There's a presentation by David Hanna about the use of AI tomorrow in one of the sessions in the morning. Artificial intelligence and deep machine learning, as well as analysis of, in particular the concentration-discharge relationships, have proven very helpful and are still being developed strongly in this urban observatory in order to conceptualize what are the mechanisms that activate pollution and how can we intercept them? How can we use green urban infrastructure, for instance, to intercept activation of pollutants? We are doing that not only in this observatory, but also we try to look really into networks of these observatories across our catchments, different catchments across the UK and globally. And I would really like to invite people here to come and work with us, test your approaches, your sensor technologies, your data science approaches together with us in this observatory and yours. Coming to the end there's a lot of things we can't measure. We can't put on a chip, on a sensor, and can't monitor automatically. I want to highlight one really fantastic program right at the end here that Dr. James White, one of our early career colleagues in Birmingham, has been championing. It's called the Birmingham River Champions, and it's working together with a lot of activists in these different catchments. You can see the state of the rivers that people have been working there in order to monitor, to provide observations, to provide knowledge, their indigenous knowledge as Bromies, as we call citizens of Birmingham, of the environments that they're living in, and working with Shiny apps and other developments to capture a lot of this really very useful knowledge and combine that, basically create data fusions with these more high-tech observations that we're doing alongside with them, having a joint learning experience there as well. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Stefan, for this presentation on activity of the unit we chair that has reminded that is connected to France and India, so having an international sharing approach, and also for the fact that you're using citizen science as a way of transdisciplinary way to see the things. Thank you very much. Before I go to the next round of participants, I would like to make an announcement. Professor Li has brought some notebook from the University of the Chinese Academy of Sciences for who is interested, and please refer to him. There are only 4 copies, so because of course, he's coming from China, he cannot bring a track of that. But thank you very much for this initiative. And somebody wants. And I would like to invite the presenter to join the audience, and I would like to call the other presenter. Thank you very much. And so is Nick Pacini. Ignacio Sutapa is online, I believe. Remy Rosani from Malaysia, Annie Chavez from Costa Rica, Jose Gaona from Colombia, and Seung Gyong Shin from Republic of Korea. Ce l'ho io, te lo faccio io. So Nick says he's from Kenya, but actually he's Italian, man. Check. Check. Yeah, but one thing. Who's missing? Two. Okay. Nick, you have the floor. And 5 minutes, I will give you. Adds on when it's finished.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening. I am Nick Pacini. I worked in Lake Naivasha for 20 years. Okay. Lake Naivasha is a tropical lake in Kenya, right at the equator. I believe it's the most intensively studied lake in the tropics worldwide, probably the most studied in the whole of Africa. And I'm not going to resume in 4 minutes the research that has been done there. I started visiting the lake around the early 90s. A lot of what we know about tropical ecohydrology has actually been researched in Naivasha already starting in the 60s and 70s. So here you have a picture of Lake Naivasha in the Rift Valley in East Africa. You see Lake Victoria, the big mass further right in the center. So to locate it. We have implemented a lot of hydrological tools at Lake Naivasha, including papyrus restoration in the lake shore, including in-stream small wetlands for water quality control, lakeside small artificial wetlands for stopping and slowing the incoming pollution into the lake and for biological degradation. We've done reforestation in the forests, in the higher mountains, in the riparian of the lake, in the riparian side of the stream. And we've invested a lot also in social ecohydrology through education of the local communities, of the farmers, of the fishermen, of the factory, flower farm workers around the lake. We've done education with them. We've involved them in proposals, in designing collective proposals for action for restoring ecosystem services on the lake. We've organized monitoring teams and citizen science. So at the moment, we are on a very low morale, actually, because a lot of what we have done is getting lost. Basically, we've learned that the social branch of ecohydrology is extremely important, but it's something that has to be provided on a continuous basis. This is what we failed to achieve because of lack of funding, lack of people, and the difficult social community that we find around the lake. Naivasha is an orphan lake, I would call it. It's a lake without a traditional local community, as you would imagine in another African setting, like would be Lake Victoria. It's a transient human community that comes, stays, and grabs something and goes somewhere else. And it has been very, very difficult to develop the social branch of ecohydrology. But besides implementing ecohydrology as a tool, as a practical tool, we've used ecohydrology as an interpretative method to understand what's actually happening in the lake. So we have monitored the biology, the chemistry. We've understood how powerful plants are in controlling nutrient chemistry, in controlling temperature around the lake, in preserving water, in controlling the water cycles through transpiration. And this has progressively taken us out of the lake towards the riparian zone, towards streams, and towards the upper catchment mountains. And this is what we found. Next slide, please. So these are the primary forests, the remaining primary forests of East Africa. This is the lower Mao range, which constituted the biggest primary forest block of the whole of East Africa. Well, Mao has been strongly degraded. These are tools that can actually call precipitation from and attract water vapor coming from the Indian Ocean onto the continent. The biotic pump that we heard today from Antonio Nobre is very actual in a place like East Africa, and we have evident signs of it. We should not be afraid of the concept of biotic regulation of the water cycle. And I think that ecohydrology is the main entry point to bring the concept of biotic regulation into this building, into this institution. It's the only place here in this room where we've given space to biotic regulation through a dual regulation principle of ecohydrology. So I strongly advocate that the future of ecohydrology should have an atmospheric leg that will connect the structure of what we have on the ground, the vegetation on the ground, to what happens up there in the sky with clouds and with the water the water vapor circulation on the planet. That, of course, has big impact on temperature, on climate change, that are also related to ecohydrology. Okay, as the last thing, I would just say, don't be afraid of the biotic regulation principle. We are in this room, we are breathing air. We are retaining oxygen. The oxygen that we are breathing is entirely produced by plants on this planet. The same oxygen is rising to the stratosphere, and it finds the UV, and it produces ozone. Without the ozone layer, there would be no life possible on the planet, because it would degrade the DNA. So the life on the planet is controlling the amount and the quality of solar radiation that we are receiving. For this, thinking of this, I'm not surprised that plants can regulate the water cycle. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nick, for this lecture. I'm sorry, I apologize, because we are friends and we've been knowing since a long time, so I forgot to introduce you. But Nick is a professor and he's a water ecologist, a senior researcher at the University of Calabria in Italy, and a former research fellow, honorary visiting fellow at the University of Leicester. So his experience spans from Africa, Europe, Mediterranean, and on integrated water management, ecological restoration. Again, thank you again. And I would like to introduce Professor Ignacio Sutapa from Indonesia, who should be online.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Ignatius, are you there?
Yes. Do you hear my voice? Hello.
Dr. Sutapa, Professor Sutapa from Indonesia,
Yes.
is the executing director of the Asia Pacific Center for Ecohydrology, and he has been involved in the ecohydrology program in the Asia Pacific and abroad for a long time, and is a good old friend of this network. And Ignatius, you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do you hear my voice, please?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so as I cannot share my screen, please help me to show the slide, because I don't have a choice here. Oh, sorry. Yes, please. Okay. Can you see the screen, please? Sorry. Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank you, Dr. Elfitri and the team, for the opportunity to share with you today. I'm so sorry for not being able to attend directly. But I am honored to present remotely on how ecohydrology and nature-based solution can play a transformative role in managing Bali's iconic Subak system for sustainable land use and climate resilience. The objective of this work is introducing ecohydrology and nature-based solution concept. The second one is to analyze the challenges in Subak system management, and last but not least, presenting integrated solution for land use and climate resilience. The Subak system, as you know, that is a UNESCO World Heritage Cultural Landscape that embodies Balinese tradition, ecology, and spirituality. It is a sophisticated water management and rice irrigation network, deeply rooted in local culture and the Tri Hitakarna philosophy, which harmonize people, nature, and the divine. As a living system, Subak sustain the livelihood and tradition of Balinese communities, making it resilient, vital amidst contemporary challenges. However, the system faces mounting pressures, including urbanization, land conversion, and climate variability, threaten in its integrity. These pressures disrupt water flow, reduce effectiveness in water regulation, and threaten cultural heritage preservation. Moreover, governance fragmentation and environmental degradation further compromise the sustainability of this integrated landscape. And this is where ecohydrology, transdisciplinary science, as mentioned by Prof. Zaleski before, offers promising pathways through intervention that restore natural hydrological processes and enhance ecosystem services. Ecohydrology, in this case, help regulate water cycle, improve water retention, and support biodiversity. In the context of Subak, ecohydrology enables a combination of science and traditional knowledge, fostering resilience while respecting cultural values. An inspiring example is the Subak Bengkel Tabanan in Bali, as UNESCO ecohydrology demonstration site. Here, reforestation of upstream forest, bioretention system along irrigation channel, check dam, and riparian buffer zone have been implemented to restore hydrological balance and improve water quality. This integrated approach showcases how local knowledge aligned with scientific technique can solve modern challenges effectively. During the event of World Water Forum last year in Bali, Dr. Rama Elfitri visited the site and handed over the certificate of the ecohydrology demonstration site from UNESCO to the Regency government of Tabanan. In this regard, we can underline lesson learned from Subak Bengkel, highlighting critical success factor for scaling this solution as well. We note that cultural integration is essential, where any intervention must be context specific and rooted in local tradition. Data collection and documentation are powerful tools to monitor progress and inform adaptive management. Sustained support and cross-sector collaboration are necessary to ensure long-term success. And finally, demonstration project generate ripple effect, encouraging wider adoption. As conclusion, ecohydrology and nature-based solution offer transformative potential to safeguard the Subak system, growing environmental and socio-economic pressures. When grounded in local knowledge and supported through collaboration, this approach can reinforce Bali cultural heritage while advancing climate resilience and sustainable land use. I believe that embracing such integrated strategies will vital for resilient landscape worldwide. And finally, I look forward to continue discussion and share effort towards sustainable watershed and cultural landscape management in the future. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Sutapa, for your presentation on the demonstration site in the Subak in Bali. which is not only eco-hydrological demonstration site, but is also combining with a World Heritage Site, the Subak system in Indonesia. Thank you very much for your experience also in supporting the program, and also for the fact that you have been waiting so long to give this presentation, as in Indonesia it is already 11 p.m. So thank you very much for having waited. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would like now to give the floor to Dr. Remy Rosani from Malaysia. Remy is an associate professor at the School of Civil Engineering at the University of Science Malaysia, USM, and a member of the River Engineering Urban Drainage Research Center, RIDAC. He will report on the new demonstration site that has been approved in Malaysia. You have the floor, Remy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for a nice introduction. First of all, I would like to thanks to the organizer for having me here today. And then I would like to thanks to our Deputy Director General, Engineer Dato Rosman. He lead our team from Malaysia today. And also HTC Humid Tropic Center, lead by Dato Ratna, and also my members USM and UTHM that been appointed as a new eco-hydrology demo site. I would like to start my slide. We are 34 people, but we have a big heart to make sure that nature-based solution is implemented in Malaysia, which is located in Penang. Okay, as you can see here, we have 4 major focus area: river management, urban drainage management, hydroinformatics, and also environmental hydraulic management. And this is our campus. Okay, what are the special of our campus? Because it's located at 3 states in Malaysia, which is Kedah, Penang, and also Perak. And this place have a problem with a flood issue before. But now, because of this campus, we control at source within volume of water and also the quality of the water. It becomes better after nearly 25 years this campus has been operated. Okay, as I mentioned, it's located at 3 states. Okay, and we implement urban stormwater management manual, and now we are going to do 3rd edition of the manual. And the concept that we use is bioecological drainage system. Okay, it's like a SUDS, LID, and so on and so forth. Okay, this is our campus. We call it as a living lab. Means that we, as a staff, and I also graduated from this university. I've been there as a student. And I feel it's like a living lab for us, because not only we as a human, but also we can feel the environment over there. Okay, these are the environment that we feel with a consulted wetland, and these are the components that we have. As you can see here, 9 components, and all these 9 components are implemented in our campus. Okay, this wetland, as we know, the wetland function to make sure the water being filtered and the quality of the water improve. Okay, based on local plants that we have. Okay, as you can see here, there is shows the water quality being improved. As you can see, the different colors of what we have surface water in our campus compared to the river that we have besides our campus. Okay, and not to forget, not only we as a human happy in that campus, but also there are many migrated birds coming and stay with us. Okay, and the best part, as you can see here, these are common hooper. Maybe this bird travel from Israel or from Europe, coming all over to our place. It means that it's very, very suitable not only for human but also migrated birds. Okay, there are many activities that have been done in our campus, and also many visitors, including Prof. Luis, have been there, and then Prof. Powell, L3, yes, and I think many of you also been there in our campus. Okay, there are about more than 30 successful projects that already been implemented in our country, as you can see all over Malaysia, because this already implemented more than nearly 25 years already. Okay, you can find us from our website, Facebook, okay, now TikTok, so on and so forth. Okay, I think that's all from me. I would like to invite all of you to come to our new demo site in Malaysia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Remy, for having reported on the very new demonstration site in Malaysia, and which looks very promising. Thank you. I would like now to invite Annie Chavez. Annie is from Costa Rica, is an environmental consultant, a former professor of University of Costa Rica, and specialized in water resource management and environmental impact assessment. He's a long-standing acquaintances of the network because she had established a long time ago a demonstration site in Costa Rica. Annie, you have the floor. Thank you. 5 minutes, please.
I can see you. Good afternoon. Thanks for staying at this time. Okay, Reventazón demo site is located in the basin, in the Costa Rican Caribbean slope. The first slide, please. Thank you. And start as a project to test the methodology of the the methodology to propose an environmental flow for related to the building of the Reventazón hydroelectrical project. Next, please. And since 2007, we have Reventazón as a demo site, and then the project has been developed and evolved according to the development of the Reventazón project. At the beginning, the results of the study of environmental flow were put together into the environmental study that we have to present by law to build any construction in Costa Rica. And after that, the project was built finally, and in between 2010 and 2015. By the beginning of 2016, the reservoir was filled, and we have one environmental flow during the filling of the reservoir, and then another environmental flow that was compiled related to the new design of the project to have a good amount of water to compile with the new environmental flow. And after the project was producing energy, we start to work doing all the research, monitoring, first the compiling of the environmental flow, but also all the different aspects about the river ecology and also the hydrological data and other like water quality and conditions of the river. And because Reventazón was being used since 1960 as an important area for energy production in 5 different hydroelectrical projects were built there. To build Reventazón, it was asked that the electricity company have to set an offset. And then it was the decision to incorporate Rio Parismina, that is an affluent of to Rio Reventazón, and to protect all together. Now we work Reventazón and Parismina as an integrated basin. And not only monitoring is being taken in the basin, but a comprehensive management plan has been developed in the upper basin since 2000, and now is extended through the whole basin. The plan includes biological monitoring, as I explained, but also hydrological studies, socioeconomic management, forest restoration projects, sustainable livestock production, environmental education, and integrated watershed management. So, yeah. Next, please. I would like to highlight that since being established in 2007, this site has been led by women. And this is a situation that is not uncommon in Latin America, because the next, please, from the 17 demo sites in Latin America, 8 demo sites are led by women and 9 by men. We really have a very gender work. And this is not just a number. This is really, this means really that including the woman's perspective in the management of the sites. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Annie, for having reported on the Reventazón site, which has been long-standing site of the Ecohydrological Network since 2007, so almost 20 years. And also to have said that half of the sites are led by women, which is a great news. Thank you. I would like now to introduce Jose Alberto Gaona Correa. Jose is from Colombia. He's a senior environmental consultant at EDOM, and he's an eco-hydrologist, and he works on solution and nature-based strategies for sustainable urban development. He has been working in the eco-hydrology program of UNESCO during the phase 8 of IHP from 2014 until 2021, and he also has been a promoter of one of the 2 sites in the demo sites in Colombia, but he will not report on that, but mostly on BGI, infrastructure or eco-hydrology. You have the floor, Jose. Thank you. 5 minutes, please.
Thank you so much, Giuseppe. Well, I would like to talk about this project that we ran in Colombia a few years ago, and it's called Ecohydrological Nature-Based Solutions for Sustainable Cities, and this is a case study based on water security and modeling. So next, okay. So I'm going to talk about ecosystem that is in South America that is called Paramos, which is Andes high mountain wetland, and I would like to refer to these wetlands as a type of ecosystem that captures the water that is in the atmosphere as a cloud, and then takes this water to the ground. The frailejones, the speletia, it's this plant that we see next to the this tall guy of maybe 1 meter and 81.8 meters, the blue guy there. So this plant has this function. And what is happening in the high mountains near Bogota, that is a 9 million inhabitant city, is that we are losing the paramus. And this paramus has the function, as I say, to capture the water, but the water is coming from the Amazon through the air, and if we lose either the Amazon or the paramus, we are in a water crisis there in Bogota. So the idea is that we select several sites to implement restoration and conservation from a total area of 600 hectares, 117,000. It's a high mountain ecosystem, so paramus. So the Inter-American Development Bank asked a question to us: what I can do if I give you certain amount of money in terms of ecohydrology, and where I should do this. So we developed a short-term plan and a medium-term using these softwares that is called Invest and Rios. It's a resource investment optimization system and integrated evaluation of ecosystem services. And we developed a selection of ecohydrology nature-based solutions, and we run also a cost and benefit estimation. What we did this is because the water is by gravity going to a potabilization plant and then let's say distributed to the whole city. So if they receive either more water in those dry seasons or better quality of the water, they need to invest less money in the treatment. So we did this analysis. What we did is we had a land cover tendency scenario to generate a baseline. So we have the previous land cover 2000-2018, and we produce a new layer in 2013 based on this trending, and we say, okay, what happens if we do nothing? And then this will be the change from forest to pastures in the left, and the brown color shows that there is a more tendency to change, and the blue ones is like less tendency. So we saw that everything will change the future if we do nothing. If we just remain as the tendency, the pastures will be urban land, and the cropland will be urban land, but also we also will lose a lot of forest for cropland and pastures. So what we did is we said, okay, if we have this baseline scenario, what will be the amount of sediments that will be reaching these potabilization plants? And we calculate in tonnels per year. This is just a table that I will not show the details. But what will happen in the alternative scenario? If we produce or develop these ecohydrology nature-based solutions, meaning we have more buffer zones to reduce the amount of either nitrogen or sediments that reach the potabilization plants. And then the idea is that we can show to the potential investor that is cheaper to invest now in these programs, that in the future the quality of the water will decrease, and this is translated into dollars. So Bogota's water security is threatened by the loss of natural and semi-natural habitats. This year and the last year we had 1 day of no water in different zones of the Bogota city. So we thought that this situation will come in 2013 around, and this study is 2020, 2022, and then in 2024 we had this crisis. Ecohydrology nature-based solutions demonstrate measurable impact improving sediment retention and potential reducing of water treatment cost, and a hybrid infrastructure vision is proposed, integrating these eco-hydrological nature-based solutions with great infrastructure for the long-term resilience. So the first conclusion is that first large-scale on eco-hydrological nature-based solutions case study in South America, and the proposed methodology supports urban resilience. We would like to replicate this exercise in some other cities that have the same situation, and we brought a paper that you can download in this link, and I would like to thank the Aqueduct of Bogota and the IDB that with some funds from Germany, we were able to do this research that took like a year to be able to have all the models. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Jose. Also, this relates to identification of threats, and where are so many threats, the use of modeling can help to understand where to adapt solutions which are solving problems with some eco-hydrological solution. Thank you so much. Last but not least, I would like to introduce Ms. Song-Gyeon Shin from the Republic of Korea. Song-Gyeon Shin is an international development professional with field experience in different UN agencies, including COICA. And she's currently working at the IHP National Committee of the Republic of Korea and contributing to cooperation management of eco-hydrology demonstration sites. You have the floor, Shin. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this great opportunity to make a presentation here at the really important event. And thank you for sticking around. I know that you're all tired and hungry. And I'll try to make it really quick. Yeah. So here today. Yeah. Today, I'm going to share some stories from South Korea about how we are bringing water and nature back to life through eco-hydrology. And I think the examples might give us a bit of hope and then probably some ideas too. I'll talk about three very different sites, Gapstream, Taewa River, and Siwa Lake in South Korea. They are all part of the UNESCO eco-hydrology demonstration efforts in Korea. But what makes them really interesting is how unique each context is, and then how tailored the solution had to be. Yeah, so let's start with Gapstream. This is an urban stream running through Daejeon City in Korea. Like many urban streams around the world, it was in a pretty bad shape. Concrete everywhere, polluted water, and hardly any wildlife. But here's where it gets inspiring. The restoration didn't come from the city hall, but it came from the ground up. Citizens, environmental NGOs, and local government, they all came together. It was a real community-driven process. They created like artificial wetlands, built systems to retain and reuse rainwater, and worked to bring wildlife habitats back. And you know what? It worked. Today, Gapstream isn't just cleaner, it's a vibrant green space right in the middle of the city. People walk along it, ride bikes, watch birds. It's proof that urban nature can bounce back with the right partnerships and persistence. Let's move on to the Taewa River in Ulsan. If you know Ulsan City, you know that it's a really huge industrial hub. For decades, it meant serious water pollution, industrial waste, heavy metals, and you name it. The river was basically dead. But over time, with serious investment in water treatment and ecological restoration, things started to change. Taewa went from being a symbol of pollution to a symbol of renewal. And the biggest sign of that recovery, the salmon came back. Salmon had disappeared from the river for decades, so their return became a kind of an official ecological scorecard. And it told everyone we're doing something right. So where Gulfstream shows us what community-driven collaboration can do, Tewa shows us what long-term and government-led commitment can achieve, even in places that seem beyond saving. Now let's talk about Shiwa Lake. This one is very unique. Shiwa is an artificial coastal lake which was originally created by building a seawall to supply fresh water for agriculture. But here's what happened. Once the seawall was built, seawater exchange was completely blocked. The lake started to go through a process of freshwater conversion or freshwaterization, but that didn't go as planned. The result, serious water quality issues, hypoxia in the bottom layers, accumulation of pollutants, and ecosystem collapse. So what did they do? Instead of removing entire infrastructure, the government built the Shiwa tidal power plant, but not for the larger scale energy production like in some countries. It was actually built as a tool for the water quality improvement. By allowing seawater to flow back in and out through controlled tidal movement, the lake started to breathe again. Circulation improved, oxygen levels rose, and the water quality got significantly better. At the same time, the tidal plant began producing clean and renewable energy. So Shiwa became a great example of how we can fix a past environmental issue by integrating nature-based thinking with technology and renewable energy. So what's the biggest big takeaway from these three cases? Whether it's a stream in the middle of the city, or a river in the industrial zone, or an artificial lake, nature-based solutions can work, but only when they are tailored to the local conditions and when people, communities, governments, local NGOs, and scientists all come together. That's what ecohydrology is really about. It's not just about managing water, but it's about restoring relationships between water, land, ecosystem, and the people who live around them. Thank you so much for your attention. That's all for my presentation.
Thank you very much, Shin, for having reported on the 3 new demonstration sites in South Korea, which are very new to the network, and also thanks for the commitment of the IHP National Committee to the program of Ecohydrology. I would like to thank the panelists and thanks the audience for this long session. We only have 45 minutes delay, and we haven't finished yet because we need to have El Fitri closing remarks to be on stage. So you can stay because I think that you can accommodate it on the podium. And we need also to have a seat for. Oh, okay, sorry. You can go back to the audience. Sorry for that.
Okay, but we will make it quick because. Okay, first we are now at the closing sessions.
Yes, please.
You have some sort of announcement, but first I would like to thanks to all participants and also to our co-partner, the RCE, to co-organize this side events, and also to thanks. During this session we managed to bring expert on ecohydrology, various ecohydrology demo site, and also youth network, ecohydrology youth network. This is very good platform, and today gathering, great gathering with all of us ecohydrology network. So, and we have very interesting speakers and panelists today, which share with all of you on the ecohydrology related initiative that have been done in their countries and also specific demonstration sites. So I would from our side on behalf of UNESCO, I would like to thanks to all of you again and hope we will continue this great collaboration and more exciting network. I will give the floor to Prof. Zaleski to give sort of closing remark shortly before we really finalize this session. Okay, please.
Thank you, Ras. Thank you, all the speakers. I would like to use this opportunity to finish the story with rocket science. why transdisciplinary ecohydrology became rocket science. Stories that almost 40 years ago, my friend, Professor Bill Mitch, said the ecology is not a rocket science. At that time, 40 years ago. And some years later, he said, we should do ecological engineering, but define ecological engineering like, let's do Mother Nature do the job. And at that time I said, not enough. We have to regulate processes. And transdisciplinary ecohydrology, as we have seen today, based on dual regulation in novel ecosystem. We still have to conserve biosphere reserve like a treasure. We have to restore some degraded land, but in reality, 80% of biosphere is somehow changed by man. And now we have to start to regulate processes toward improvement of already what we destroyed, means water resources, bioproductivity, biodiversity, which of course is based on reversing degradation biocomplexity of landscape of the catchment. And at that moment we can generate appropriate services and resilience, because climate, as we have heard, can be dramatically changed. And I think that during today we had an excellent example of the progress through the demo site in different parts of the world. And today I think there was a fantastic cross-inspiration by each of us for all the presentation. So once again, thank you everybody. We will be in touch. Alfitri is working hard to keep network active. Support of Giuseppe Arduino with great experience, Shabazz Declar also, and we will go forward. Thank you very much.
Wait the moment. Before we close, I would like to sort of to give specific certificate to some of the ecohydrology new demonstration sites. As you know, we by end of the year last year we approved 12 ecohydrology demonstration sites. We shared the online certificate, but since we have out of 12 we have 5 new ecohydrology demonstration sites with us today. So we would like to present the original certificates to all of you. So therefore, I would like to call the on stage, or for Prof. Zaleski, you should be together with me here because this is signed by both of us. Yeah, first the 2 ecohydrology demonstration sites in Malaysia. I would like to call the representative from USM and also UTHM. I think together. Yeah, first.